Am I gonna be famous?
YouTube, yes.
Could be. Okay, so first than anything, I want to give you a welcome to Cuba.
Yay!
Is the first time for everyone here?
Yes.
Yes. Second for me.
Second? Okay, we'll still have some places that will be the first time for you.
Good.
It is always about learning. So there are very important information, just a few, but it's very important for you to know when you come to Cuba for the first time. It's very important when you visit a new country. Most of you are used to visit other countries. So in this case, I want to talk about the water in Cuba. Water is crystal clear. We actually drink the running water, but the pH level, it's a bit different than the one you're just drinking in the States. So if you drink the running water, it could give you some stomach problems, so you will spend a few days in the bed and go throughout. That's not the best when you come to Cuba for just a few days. If you're thinking about coming here and stay living, that'll be perfect. You gotta get used to the running water. Otherwise, let's just drink bottled water. So all the places we book for these few days, like restaurants or all the places that we're gonna be visiting, and we're having a cocktail or all the drinks. Well, in those cases, people that run these restaurants, they use filters for the ice cube machines. So if you have a cocktail, the water used for the ice cubes will be filtered, no problem. But during the free time, when you walk around the city, your hotel is right in front of Central Park, downtown, 25 minutes north from here. So that's one of the most lovely areas of Havana. There's a historical center, the part that have been restored, and they still have one side of the city that haven't been restored. So you can make the comparison, you can see both of the areas, and you will love to walk. Everyone do. So you'll find this kind of, oh, there's water over there. Air conditioner or something. So going back to that, so when you walk downtown or other areas of Havana, you'll probably find a bar full of local people and you'd like to have a drink there. In this occasion, I will tell you that's not the best idea. If you go to a place that the drinks for the locals are not the same probably for you, that the owner of the place won't be the word of changing the filters of the ice cube machines. So if you go there, the best choice won't be a cocktail. You'll better have a bottled water, a soft drink, or just better go to other clubs. I can give you some names of bars and places you can visit that you will find locals as well, but there are so many other places that are not the best. When you walk along, you'll find many friendly people. Cubans are friendly. We really like to talk, and downtown, at least the 70% of the people, they leave because of the tourism. So when they see tourists, they're friendly like everyone else, but then you find too friendly people. So when someone is way too friendly, they're not so friendly at all. Deep inside, you'll find something else at the end of the conversation. So something that happens very often is that people just meet a couple. Sometimes when you meet a couple, it's like this sensation of you're gonna be safe with them because it's a couple, there's nothing to be aware of. Well, finally at the end of the conversation, 2 hours later, you're in the bar paying $15 per cocktail. So probably in the States you have fancy bars or fancy restaurants that charge you $15 per cocktail, but here in Cuba, the top price will be like 5 to 7. That's a top price. And now that I mentioned dollars, one of the other things we must know is that we have two currencies. Well, we have one currency that we're using, the Cuban convertible pesos, and we have the zombie currency, the one that exists but no one uses. So it's almost dead. That's a Cuban pesos, the national currency. The one you gotta use is the convertibles. It's very easy to recognize. I'm gonna take you to a place that you can change. And these convertibles have different colors, each one of the notes. The Cuban pesos, the ones that even the Cubans doesn't use anymore, is only one color, each one of the notes. Anyway, I don't suggest you to change money on the streets. The reason, well, you're not used to see these two currencies, so probably you'll find people on the streets changing money, and they'll give you the wrong one, and finally you get wrong. The best idea is always go to an exchange house. The hotel you're staying doesn't have an exchange house inside, as long as I remembered, but they can change money on reception. The problem is that when you go to reception of the hotels, for dollars they give you the same rate. All over the island, the same rate for dollars will be everywhere, 87 cents each one of the dollars. So when you change $100, they'll give you back 87 convertible pesos, or cooks. That's the way Cuban people call it, cooks, C-U-C. So if you have euros, pounds, or the Canadian dollars, then we gotta go to the exchange house, because on reception they will have a lower rate. Who has any of those currencies? Euros, pounds? Oh, it's fine. It's just no. Everyone else is just American dollars? Perfect. So the other thing that we must know is about internet. We are almost offline, but not exactly. We have internet, but when you find a Wi-Fi connection, it won't be free. The hotels that are the places where you can find this Wi-Fi connection, they charge between $2 and $6 depending on the hotel per hour. So basically they sell cards that have a user and a password to have access to that Wi-Fi connection, and then you can navigate. But it's only for 1 hour, and it'll be $2, $3, $4 till $6 depending on the place. Questions so far? Okay. The vintage cars, the ones we have seen at the airport, we're gonna find them everywhere. Everywhere. Only in Havana we have about 150,000 cars, vintage cars.
Wow.
Ford, Chevrolet, Mercury, Lincoln, Dodge, every kind you imagine. Back in the 50s and 40s, you're gonna find it here. We still have some of the 20s, some of the 30s, but the very most common are the ones of the 50s. Bel Air, 55, 56, 57,
Woo.
Ford, and well, we don't have Mustang, but we have many others. So some of those cars are very well maintained. You can see very nice cars and things like that on there. And some others are just in good shape. Most of these cars are used as taxis. The very well maintained ones are used for tourists. The private people, they just fix the cars and they charge tourists with $25 to $40 to ride the whole city for 1 hour. And so some others that are not so well conditioned are used as regular taxis. We call them share taxis. They go from point A to point B, and they pick up different people along that road. Those are cheaper, the ones used by the people. In Havana, it's not a very big city, but for us, it's big. So when you want to go from one point A to point B, it's the best idea is using the share taxis and not just getting your own taxi. That'll be like too expensive.
That's like Uber. You got your own form of Uber. Have you heard of Uber?
Uber doesn't come to my brain.
It's like it's people who have their own cars and they use them as taxis in the United States. U-B-E-R. Uber.
Well, yeah, it'll be just that way.
Yeah, Cuba Uber.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, doesn't it?
So it's just your own taxi, it's just your own car. It's very well. We'll talk broadly about this during these few days about the new economy reform. It's very important to mention that every time we talk about companies, big hotels, that will be all state-owned. Everything is owned by the state, but the small businesses. So this opening, this new economy reform, that is not something that is happening just since these 3 or 4 years. It's actually that started in 1990s. It was step by step, but it get bigger 3 years ago. So it's only to give the people the opportunity to open their own business, but small businesses. According to new taxes or laws, it is important to have only less than 20 employees. In a private business, if you have more than 20 employees, it's impossible to pay the tax. So the idea for the government is that no one was going to have more than 20 employees. We were not going to have big companies, just small companies, people that want to run their own business, that were going to have their own incomes, and that were going to generate some jobs opportunities for the people, but not big businesses. Every time we'll visit a hotel or we'll visit other economies or chain of restaurants, they'll always be run by the states. As a Cuban person, you can only run one restaurant or one club or one bar. You cannot have a chain of restaurants or a chain of bars or franchises all over the island. Questions? No?
How do the people feel about how do the Cuban people feel about what's happening? Are they excited? Are they mad? Are they happy? How does the general feel?
Well, let's define about what is happening.
Yeah, what is happening?
There are many things happening in the island. Yeah. So what are we talking about? The economic reform?
Yeah.
Or the new relationship with the Americans?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
But those are two themes.
Okay, let's talk about the new relationship with the Americans.
Decidedly different.
Exactly.
Yeah, what about the new relationship with Americans?
Well, first than anything, it's good to mention, you know, when American people come here, they think it's something that is happening recently, since the last 2 years, 1 year. No, it's been happening since ever. Right immediately after the revolution triumph, the first 3 years, everyone was just free to come and go. In 1962, they just stopped Americans coming here by law. After the embargo, you were not supposed to be here in Cuba, as well as you're not supposed to go to Iran or North Korea. So you were using different ways. You were going to Canada, and from Canada to Cuba or Mexico or the other islands in the Caribbean. So the idea was that Cuba creates this visa, which is a piece of paper. So when Americans were coming to the island, we stamp the paper, and you can just throw it out when you were back to the States. So this new opening, since the last 6 or 5 years after Obama became the president, he creates a people-to-people exchange license. Many Americans have been coming. We feel great about it. Americans are good tourists. We have many things in common. 80% of the movies, TV shows, music that we consume is actually American. You can talk. I mean, if you find someone on the streets and he speaks English, you can talk to him about everything. Culture, characters, actors, actresses, singers, they will know everything about the States. So for us, it's fine. All disappointments have always been about politics. It's always been between the Cuban government and the American government. We have our problems, we have our faults, Americans as well. You do have weird governments. Some things are good, some things are bad. Like every other place. If you go to England, there will be something that you won't like. When you come here, there will be a lot of things that you won't like. So we feel great. We think it was a need. We have been really having many economic problems in the last 50 years, but the last 20 have been crazy. So we need to finish the embargo. The embargo is not only stopping Americans to come here. Embargo also stops Cubans to buy technology or to get infrastructure that we really need from other countries, not only from the States. We cannot buy from other companies in England or in France that have over 5% of American investment. They won't be allowed to deal with us.
Wow.
So finally, we pay 3-4 times the real price every time we try to get that technology or that infrastructure that we're needing. We need to finish this disappointment. And on the other hand, because American people love Cuba, it's the only island that still is preserved in the Caribbean. And there goes one more thing. We'll love to keep Americans coming. Many Cubans will love to see tomorrow 20 million Americans coming by plane. But there is another part, in which I'm included, that we think is not the best idea just to have 20 million Americans coming in one day. We love the things the way they are right now. Maybe not you having the need of coming with the licenses or anything. Well, we'll prefer it like that. Well, okay, they will open. We will like some groups, small groups, not these big groups coming, because we know what is happening on other islands or other countries. When we won't like McDonald's, we won't like Pizza Hut. That's yours. It's part of your culture, not ours. We have good bread burger actually. I can take you to a place and eat a real burger. If you were born in the States, ever have been in the States, you never go to other place to eat a burger, I'll take you to a place and you'll know what a real burger is. Because McDonald's is white, and as long as you know, meat is red.